Welcome, friends. I'm Andrew Meatrich, and we've got some absolutely critical developments to unpack today. First up, the UK is making significant moves on its migration policy. The current government is tightening its approach, aiming to curb the surging popularity of right-wing parties. They are laser-focused on reducing the number of individuals arriving illegally from France in small boats. This shift, according to the government, is designed to end what they describe as an unfair system, where those crossing the channel in small vessels reportedly receive more extensive rights for settlement and family reunification than those who arrive through legal channels or even legitimate British citizens. That's the word from the government, at least. We'll have to see if these changes actually stick, because let's be honest, many of this government's previous intentions haven't quite landed as planned. I used to work inside a big, well-known media organization, saw how stories were routinely twisted to fit predetermined narratives, and I walked away from all of it. Now I'm independent, I speak freely, and I tell you what really matters. If you find value in these unfiltered insights, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and consider becoming a sponsor. Your support is what keeps this platform going, allowing me to bring you the truth, unvarnished. It means the world to me and to the fight for independent journalism. So if you're with me, join the community, hit subscribe, and let's keep digging for the bigger picture together. Now, speaking of breaking news, Ursula von der Leyen, the head of the European Commission, has just dropped a bombshell. After an informal summit of European community leaders in Copenhagen, the message is clear: the European Union is fundamentally changing its approach to sanctions against Russia. Forget gradual restrictions, folks, they're gearing up for far more radical actions. The time has come, she declared, to intensify the pressure even further. And if that wasn't enough, French President Emmanuel Macron has made a very bold statement of his own. NATO, he says, must send an unequivocal signal. Drones violating European airspace are taking a grave risk and can and potentially will be eliminated. Period. That's how the French leader put it, direct and to the point. Adding to that, Germany has already conceded that, for now, it cannot effectively intercept drones over its own territory. The reason is stark: a lack of a comprehensive anti-drone defense system and, crucially, the danger to civilians if debris were to fall. While they can't shoot down drones, Germany is, quite notably, constructing its largest military ships since the Second World War. This isn't a secret, despite the delays and soaring costs. The German government has confirmed plans to complete 6 F-126 type frigates, marking the country's most ambitious shipbuilding project since 1945. The price tag for this order? It's over 10 billion euros. These powerful combat vessels, we're told, are essential for operations in the Baltic Sea. Now stay with me, because there's more from Germany that's truly unsettling. What's happening in Berlin is almost beyond belief. There's been a mass disappearance of Vietnamese students. At one culinary and hospitality technical school alone, approximately 200 students have vanished without a trace. Educators and industry representatives are pointing out that many of these students only formally possess language certificates. In reality, it turns out they barely speak German at all. That's quite a twist, isn't it? As a result, their actual training barely begins. Journalists report that some of these missing students have moved into undeclared employment. What's even more concerning is that migration experts are now warning about international criminal organizations. These groups are reportedly using falsified documents and ensnaring young individuals into deep financial obligations. This, of course, isn't just about Vietnamese citizens. The activities of various criminal organizations across Europe have been an open secret for a long time. They're engaging in territorial disputes, violent confrontations, carving up spheres of influence, and so on. And quite frankly, the authorities openly admit they're struggling to bring order to the situation. These are the harsh modern realities we're all facing, and there's no escaping them. If you're finding these insights important, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your engagement helps push these discussions forward. Still in Germany, we're hearing increasing calls from members of the Social Democratic Party, which, mind you, holds the third spot in popularity, to ban the right-wing Alternative for Germany party. Opponents of the right-wing movement justify their push by citing a threat to democracy itself. Therefore, they argue, to safeguard democracy, the right-wing party must be outlawed. However, the authority to ban a political party rests solely with the Federal Constitutional Court. The initial step in this complex process requires gathering and meticulously evaluating all relevant information and evidence of the right-wing party's alleged anti-constitutional actions. And right now, the Social Democrats are in full swing, preparing their their motion for this prohibition, aiming to have the AfD permanently removed from the political landscape. But here's where it gets interesting. As of today, new polls from the ZDF Politbarometer show that the CDU-CSU alliance has actually overtaken the AfD, reclaiming the top spot. They now stand at 27% support, a 1 percentage point gain from 2 weeks prior. The alternative for Germany, which had been neck and neck with the Conservatives, lost 1 percentage point, dropping to 25%. The Social Democrats are holding steady at 15%. When combined with the CDU-CSU bloc, this only gives them 42% of the vote, which, as you know, is simply not enough for a parliamentary majority. So essentially, the country is being led by those supported by a minority. And here's a truly intriguing, and I assure you, not a joking detail. Defense Minister Boris Pistorius once again leads the ranking of Germany's most popular politicians. He's followed by Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock. Chancellor Olaf Scholz, however, rounds out the top 5 popular leaders in the country. What does this tell you? It seems that promoting the interests of military-industrial companies is a surefire way to stay at the top of modern polls, no question about it. It's almost too convenient. Let's keep moving to another critical area. New information has also emerged regarding the detention of participants in the flotilla that, as you know, was attempting to reach the shores of Gaza to quote-unquote break the blockade and deliver aid. Reports indicate that immediately after Israeli forces intercepted the vessels, over 200 activists, including Greta Thunberg, abruptly discarded their mobile phones into the sea. This was apparently a prearranged directive. They were acting according to a specific plan. The stated reason? To eliminate potential evidence regarding the funding and connections of the organizers. A little earlier, and this is important to note, Israel had provided documents which, according to Israeli authorities, indicate the involvement of criminal organizations in arranging this flotilla. The Israeli Ministry of Foreign Affairs asserts that the operation was conceived purely as a political provocation, especially since the flotilla reportedly declined to deliver aid through established, vetted ports. The focus, they claim, was not on assistance, but on making a statement. That's the perspective from the Israeli side. Reports suggest that some of the activists are already being prepared for deportation. Greta and her associates are said to be safe and in good health. Meanwhile, thousands of people have taken to the streets in Italy, Greece, Spain, Turkey, Argentina, and even Colombia, expressing their dissatisfaction with Israel's actions. It's clear that their voices may not be officially heard, but the movement continues to gain momentum. Greta, as you recall, began as a symbol of the fight against climate changes. Now, however, she finds herself squarely in the middle of the Middle East conflict. Her name is once again making global headlines, but this time it's not about environmental concerns. It's about geopolitics. It's likely that she can't simply tell those funding these efforts to leave her alone. Switching gears to the United States of America, following the recent government shutdown, the popularity of the Democratic Party has plummeted to a new low. The Democratic Party attempted to convey, through an 11-hour broadcast, the full danger of the government's operational pause, a pause they themselves allowed to happen. But the American public, it seems, simply ignored them. The Democrats' broadcast was reportedly watched by only about 1,000 viewers, mostly their own supporters, while a White House video garnered over 100,000 views. Democrats still can't quite believe that their moment in history has perhaps passed for good. Also, word has it that the Pentagon will subject employees to lie-detector tests after the rather strong statements from Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth. Trump, for his part, asserted that he sees an internal adversary within the country and is prepared to deploy the military against what he described as crumbling cities, like, for example, New York and Chicago. This was, of course, a figurative statement. In his view, the United States is in a state of internal struggle. Essentially, he suggests that wherever Democrats are in charge, a significant reordering will be necessary. As you can tell, things are just getting started. It's worth adding that Donald Trump also urged utilizing the government shutdown as an opportunity to combat multi-billion-dollar waste and deception. Republicans, he believes, should seize this moment, created by the Democrats' forced government pause, to eliminate what he calls ballast, waste, and deception, potentially saving billions of dollars. His rallying cry, "Make America Great Again," he wrote on social media. We'll certainly be watching to see what unfolds next. There's a tremendous amount of intrigue there as well. These are the key informational points for today, and they speak volumes. So, what have we discussed today? We looked at the UK's significant shift in migration policy, aiming to curb illegal arrivals and address perceived unfairness in the system. We heard from Ursula von der Leyen about the EU's radical new approach to sanctions against Russia and Emmanuel Macron's firm stance on drones violating European airspace, even as Germany admits its own defense limitations. We dove into the unsettling mass disappearance of Vietnamese students in Berlin and the growing concerns about criminal organizations exploiting vulnerable young people. We also examined the political landscape in Germany, with calls to ban the AfD and recent shifts in party popularity, all while the defense minister remains surprisingly popular. Finally, we touched on the unfolding situation with the Gaza flotilla, the suspicious discarding of phones, and Israel's claims of political provocation. We also covered the dramatic drop in Democratic popularity in the US after the shutdown, and Donald Trump's strong rhetoric about internal adversaries and combating waste. These are complex, interconnected events, and your perspective is invaluable. Please share your thoughts on all of this in the comments below. What do you think is truly happening? And if you found this discussion helpful, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and if you truly believe in independent, uncensored news, consider becoming a channel sponsor. Your generous support is the lifeblood of this operation, allowing me to continue bringing you these crucial analyses free from external influence. It's how we keep the truth alive, and I truly appreciate your being a part of it. Until tomorrow, rest assured, there's always more to uncover and discuss. All the best to you.